things he mentioned in conversation he recommended was to meet with the team once a week just for 15 minutes. Because he said a lot of times you try to have a meeting, it gets out of hand, it's too long, so then of course you don't meet. It took about 7 months to actually take his advice, but nonetheless it proved to be very good. We meet on Mondays for 15 minutes. We've kept that to exactly 15 minutes. Throughout the week, people add to the agenda. We get through things very fast. And then we post the discussion topics. We have a private blog for our company.
This is a challenge, really, I think, for all of us.
Only for you, Robert.
No.
The rest of us are all okay out there.
All right, it's a challenge for me. But, you know, whether I have a client that's not paying me or, you know, equipment's breaking, how we respond to that, I'm constantly aware of that. I don't want to blow my witness, and I have things on the wall proclaiming that I'm a Christian business, so it's really obvious. I struggle with that. I had, just last week, I was providing graphics for the Johnson & Johnson Global Meeting. I had half of my equipment was broken. I had repair guys in for 3 weeks that were making the machines worse. And my employer said, why aren't you screaming at these guys? And I said, do you think it's really going to help? You know? So you constantly have to weigh all of that. You have these emotions that are, it's a struggle. It's in our head constantly, right? The battle's in our minds, and how that plays out really is our witness.
The words accountability and vulnerability are not those that typically enter our vocabulary. We kind of bristle when we hear that, but I have to say that the blessing that I've experienced in the last 12 months since having joined C12 is having that accountability with other business owners who can help lift me up, hold my feet to the fire, and keep me on track. So accountability is a blessing. Vulnerability is a blessing.
I've surrounded myself with guys that I trust, and in most cases they know more than I do, so I listen well, and that's proved worthwhile for me in my walk at Christ Home and the journey there for 18 years. There are several men in particular that I'm accountable to and very vulnerable with in our relationships as we share what's going on in each other's lives.
We require that everyone take ownership of their work and of their clients, and it's very important to us because our people are consulting with business owners and nonprofit executive directors, so they need to really treat themselves or handle things as if this was their own company or their own business. And we try to reinforce that by sharing a lot of information about our company with our entire staff and going over our books and how you analyze them and our ratios and our goals and our key performance indicators, and really educating everybody how to manage our own accounting firm so that they can in turn help their clients manage their businesses. And then in a literal sense, about a year ago, we instituted the ESOP plan, so now the people that we work with are not only part of our company, but they're also co-owners as well.
One of the other things that I've seen across the C12 member companies is it's the openness and sharing information with our employees. You know, when we take the time to let people know what's going on, what the results are, how we're progressing, what the prospects for the future look like, there's an inherent buy-in that takes place. This person cares enough that they want me to know so that I can do my job better. And several of our members have taken to an open book management type of philosophy and sharing actual results on a monthly basis with employees. Others have set metrics, or KPIs we call it, key performance indicators. And Robert, you've begun to share with your entire team monthly and year-to-date KPIs, right?
I've been doing that for about 6 months now, and totally open book. You can see anything. I think it's really fostered an environment of sharing and openness and trust, and everybody knows exactly where the performance is throughout the company.
Yeah. And I can tell you from other members, and looking back at Mark Kemp and a few others, that this is not a popular idea when it's first presented to an owner. You want me to what? Open the books and share them? But I think Mark and others would would give testimony to the benefit that it does provide in fostering that type of relationship. You know, the one lament that I hear, right, Art? I don't have any time. I'm just strung out. I've got this going on. I'm serving on this board. I'm doing this. I got time with the family and the kids. And boy, the wife would sure like me home a little bit more. And there's no time. So guys, how do you balance the things that are really important to you? How do you make sure that you're proactively setting your priorities so that as you get down the road and look back, those things are taken care of?
It begins personally with my personal time with the Lord, which is the morning for me. I get up early and try to get started that way. It's not a ritual, although it can turn into that. It's just something that in time with the Lord in prayer, reading scripture, pondering it, meditating upon it, and then taking that into the day, what the day holds in my calendar, the week. That's kind of a important step for me personally. The balance that comes out of that is also part of what I've found in C12 with the accountability goals that we set to do, things that we do, because it not only stretches into the business, it goes into the family or relationship with your wife, your children, in my case, grandchildren. So the balance that we all battle with, some days it's pretty decent, other days doesn't work quite the way I had hoped it would, but for me it has to start, the most important thing for me is starting in the morning with my time with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.